Welcome to All About Astrology channel. Before we start, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified every time when we upload brand new videos so you don't miss a thing. So let's get started. Aries. What Aries needs to work on in order to evolve? Self-aggrandizing. With their desire to be the best, they can often know their own worth, which is a step in a positive direction, aka self-love. But this tendency can come off as bragging or conceit. An evolved Aries will continue to acknowledge their strengths, but also appreciate their limits, as well as learn how to give others a chance to shine. Positive manifestation of this trait: belief in oneself. Taurus. What Taurus needs to work on in order to evolve? Materialism. If you break down the word, you see material as being the root. Taurus likes what is real, aka what is material. They are ruled by Venus and find pleasure in sensory experience. They like to look good, feel good, smell good, and eat things that taste good. If taken to excess, their happiness becomes too closely connected to these things, sparking an obsession with materials and thus an obsession with money. Going into nature will remind every bull how the best and most satisfying materials in life are free. Positive manifestation of this trait: sensuality. Gemini. What Gemini needs to work on in order to evolve? Gossip. They have a sort of inherent need to spread information as quickly and widely as they can. In their haste, they can jump to conclusions. They don't necessarily waste time fact-checking things, and thus can unintentionally spread falsehoods. They may do this so frequently that they forget what they said, getting their stories mixed up, which can make them seem deceptive, duplicitous. The evolved twin uses these same skills, but with a focus on spreading intellectually sound information that won't hurt anyone. Positive manifestation of this trait: communication. Cancer. What Cancer needs to work on in order to evolve? Grudge holding. They have a very strong memory for emotional things, which is why they are sentimental and nostalgic, but also why they can be some of the most grudge-holding people in the world. Again, these are emotional memories, so the grudge is for how they felt rather than the actual circumstance. They can hold onto wounds for an unhealthy amount of time, even if it was as simple as an ignored phone call or a rude attitude. Evolved crabs have learned how to forgive, and hold onto positive emotional memories instead. Positive manifestation of this trait: tenacity. Leo. What Leo needs to work on in order to evolve? Pride. Just like a lion, they have their pride to consider in practically every situation. This is inextricably tied in with their ego, and they can also be very stubborn, which brings on an uncompromising arrogance that demands respect to the point of absurdity. We all deserve respect, but Leos can become paranoid about a perceived lack of respect that initiates tyrannical behavior. An evolved lion has learned to use the triggering of their pride as a chance to display humility and grace instead of fury. Positive manifestation of this trait: honor. Virgo. What Virgo needs to work on in order to evolve? Perfectionism. They know, rationally, that perfection is impossible, but they are still inclined to seek it out in everything they do, which can lead to worry, resentment, and failure, at least what they consider failure. It can even incapacitate them to the point of going in the opposite direction, such as being extremely messy because just being a little clean isn't good enough, or simply not doing the things they want to do because if they did, it wouldn't be perfect. Evolved Virgos know the value of and see the beauty in wabi-sabi. Positive manifestation of this trait: efficiency. Libra. What Libra needs to work on in order to evolve? People-pleasing. As the sign of balance and harmony, they can feel a strong obligation to be pleasant, likable, and in accordance with the wants and needs of others. That being said, they aren't really self-sacrificing. Rather, this desire to please comes more from vanity and a need to get people on their side. This means many Libras can be or become insincere. The evolved Libras speak up when they disagree and aren't afraid to share their less pleasant traits in order to be more genuine and trustworthy. Positive manifestation of this trait. Consideration. Scorpio. What Scorpio needs to work on in order to evolve? Control issues. They can feel a constant craving, which then turns into a struggle, to be in control. This stems from a survival tactic, such as being in control of their bodies or minds to avoid abuse or manipulation from others. But they can apply this tactic way outside the realm of necessity, and even start getting off on the power they exert over people. Evolved Scorpions have accepted the vastness and randomness of the universe, and how many things, good and bad, are out of our control. This will ultimately make them happier. Positive manifestation of this trait. Decisiveness. Sagittarius. What Sagittarius needs to work on in order to evolve? Flight response. They're always on the go, which allows them to see many places, meet many people, and do many things. But this itch to bail can also be their biggest enemy, as certain things require patience and time to unfold properly. They will ultimately miss out on happiness if they live with one foot out the door. An evolved Archer knows how to take a moment for themselves when needed, but to cherish the things and people in life that are worth sticking around for. Positive manifestation of this trait. Independence. Capricorn. What Capricorn needs to work on in order to evolve? Judgmentalness. It's pretty well established that goats have a firm opinion on the way things should be done and the way people should act. They have a strong moral sense, no matter what the actual morals are, specific to each person. They have a tendency to look down on people or things if they don't fit the criteria, which can lead people to find them stuck up. A wise goat has developed a more forgiving and compassionate view of humanity, and will be better off for it. Positive manifestation of this trait. Principled. Aquarius. What Aquarius needs to work on in order to evolve? Contrariness. The instinct to go against the grain runs rife with water-bearers. This may sound like an innocent enough trait, but the desire to contradict every piece of the status quo can become exhausting for everyone involved. They can be incredibly stubborn and fiercely opinionated, failing to participate or agree with things that may be in their best interest, just to avoid being predictable. Evolved water-bearers carry on their unique point of view, but can make concessions here and there without issue when it serves the higher good. Positive manifestation of this trait. Originality. Pisces. What Pisces needs to work on in order to evolve? Deceptiveness. They may not always realize when they're being deceptive, but being that their reality tends to be more fluid, it can become a conscious or unconscious habit to bend the truth. This can spiral out of control, and they may have trouble owning up to previous or current deceptions, as they never want to be the bad guy. An evolved fish has learned to make clear distinctions between fact and fiction, practices radical honesty, and uses their vivid imagination solely for creative, and never malicious purposes. Positive manifestation of this trait. Imagination. Let us know your experience and share it with our community in the comments section below. We hope you've enjoyed this video. Subscribe and stay tuned for our upcoming All About Astrology video. Thank you for watching.